Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the M&K Productions Podcast. I'm your host, Mac, joining as usual with Kristen, aka Miss Flamingo. Kristen, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing on this lovely Wednesday, Mac?
I'm doing good. We have a special episode today. We're going to be fixing what they should have done for the Hannah Montana podcast, special. And we're going to go back here and talk about the 2009 film, the one I saw on Disney Channel 80 million times, that was released in theaters, is probably a staple in our childhood. Because I was just talking about it to my friend, and this is your episode idea. You're like, let's talk about this Hannah Montana movie.
Yeah, I thought it would be a fun idea since it's celebrating 20 years, which is
I'm old.
so crazy. And I just looked at it and I was like, I was like almost 11 years old when it came out.
I was
and
9.
I remember, oh my God, you were 9? That's crazy.
Wait, when the show came out?
Yeah.
When the show came out, I was 6.
You were 6? Okay.
Yes.
I was I'm gonna be 11 when the show came out.
Gross.
Yeah. Old. Ew, old. Ew, I'm old. Yes, right.
Do you remember the dinosaurs, Grandma? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean
Thanks,
that. That was messed up. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all good.
Damn, I can't believe it's been 20 years since it first premiered. That's crazy because they had 2 shows: the original show, and then Hannah Montana Forever was the one I remember the most part.
Yeah, that was like the 4th season that aired like 13 episodes.
Yes. And then this wasn't we'll get to it, but this wasn't the only Hannah Montana movie because she had a concert movie. She was the one that made the concert movies like kind of popular.
Yeah, and then something else premiered on the same day as Hannah Montana, back on March 24th. The Allie and AJ film, Cowbells. Did you ever see Cowbells?
I was gonna say like Allie and AJ, and then you said Cowbells. That just got me like a flashback of that.
Yeah, that Disney Channel's like The Simple Life film. Like what they were poking, like you could say it was like they were looking at Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie. Like
Cowbells was fun, but then we had Twitches though, so I was fine with Twitches. I was a Twitches.
Twitches is a good one. I enjoy Cowbells. And yeah, that movie too, Cowbells, came out around the same time as Material Girls, which is the Hilary Duff and Haley Duff movie.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I remember Double Team. That was a movie that no one's remembered.
Double Team. Oh
but
Double Team.
We got a good episode. We're going to cover some news topics as we going to cover last time. And then we're going to get into the Hannah Montana movie and then get you the preview of what we got coming up next. I think everything that being said, I think we should get right into the news.
Yay!
This is CNN.
Let's move on to another film that we both love, Weapons. Zach Shields set to pen Weapons prequel screenplay along with Zach Cregger. Zach Cregger and Zach Shields will write the screenplay for the upcoming prequel to the critically acclaimed horror hit Weapons, the New Line and Warner Brothers project currently in the works, titled Gladys.
Of course.
Cregger and Vertigo Entertainment's Roy Lee and Marie Yoon are returning to produce. Cregger is repped by CAA, Artists First, and Carl Austin and Michael Akbar. Weapons grossed over $270 million worldwide. Amy Madigan, who portrayed the main antagonist and Gladys, won the Academy Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Madigan also won the SAG-AFTRA role for her mysterious relative of Alex. And yeah, we're gonna get a prequel to Weapons, getting the backstory of Aunt Gladys.
It was inevitable.
And this is coming from Deadline. I want to shout out from Desi Ron Gomez.
Sorry. It was inevitable because it made money, and then Amy Madigan, well-deserved, won Best Supporting Actress, but still, like, I don't want another movie like this because it's fine as its own thing. This is like the same thing of like, hey, we're going to make a prequel to Sinners, like a TV show. And it's like, you don't have to. And I know Zach Cregger himself was like, hey, I'm okay. He was the one that said like, he's okay with doing a prequel.
Yeah.
And then like, he even asked, because he even said like with Variety in an interview that he'd be down to do a sequel to Weapons. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he's busy with other films. Like we got that Resident Evil movie coming out, which I'm really excited about. But I guess, you know, despite my groans of anguish, I think this could work because there is questions of like what Aunt Gladys is and how she became a witch. So in a way, I feel like this could work, but I'm still scared because I'm like, will this fall in a trap of like, I don't know, like not being as good as the first movie? That's my take on it.
I'm so split on an Aunt Gladys story because clearly there's a story to be told about Aunt Gladys, great, but do we need it? No. I think Zach could focus on other stuff than, working about not working on weapons, even though it's now one of his most prized movies. I think focusing on Resident Evil should be a priority and seeing if that universe is going to be worth expanding on if, that goes well.
Yep.
But, I don't think we need to be worrying about a prequel for Aunt Gladys, but am I going to watch it? 1,000%. And people will be watching it because it's Aunt Gladys. And I think the whole cast in that movie is just phenomenal besides, Aunt Gladys. So,
Yeah,
but
everyone pulled up their A game. That's what made it great. So
yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
Okay, but then moving on to my final piece of news. Mac, do you watch The Pit?
No, not really.
No? Okay, so
No.
this can be a good discussion about one thing about something I want to ask you. The Pit season 2 finale gets early theatrical release in partnership with Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. This is coming also from Deadline. So here's the story. The screening. Oh, whoops. Somehow the paragraph jumped all the way to the bottom of the page. Here we go. The Pit is about to make its theatrical debut. HBO Max and Warner Brothers Television have teamed up with Alamo Drafthouse Cinema for advanced screening of the season 2 finale of the Emmy-winning series. The screening will take place on Monday, April 13th at 10 Alamo Drafthouse locations nationwide, 3 days before the episode airs on HBO Max on April 16th. The screenings are told to be as a tribute to healthcare workers celebrating their steadfast dedication to their communities. So, because of the screening, I love how it's going to honor healthcare workers. Do you think it's a good idea for movie theaters to show TV episodes like how they recently did with One Piece and Stranger Things?
Have we not seen what happens to the Inhumans when they tried the whole theatrical release it in movie? Like, listen, I get it. Because what I've heard from The Pit, from what I've heard, it's the most accurate medical show like of all time, apparently.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Like, okay, that's fine, but it's like it's popular, but I'm like, what people are gonna go to the theater and be like, I need to watch this in IMAX, and I can just watch it at home. Like, I feel like going to the theater to watch like the shows like this, unless it's like something like the Stranger Things, and even that was funny because the way it crashed and burned. Unless it's like a cinematic event that they want it to be like that, then I think that's different. But for a show like The Pit to release in theaters, it's just weird to me because it is popular, it's getting all the rave reviews, but like, does it necessarily have to be in theaters? Like, what is it just the point of like, hey, we're gonna flex? I think it's a little bit of a flex from Warner Brothers to say like, hey, our show is popular. Fuck you.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm very vocal today, and it's just like that bothers me a bit because I remember like the Inhumans. Marvel was like, we have this new show. It's gonna be on ABC, but we're gonna air this in theaters too. And it was just weird to me because I'm like, who's gonna be like, I can watch this free at home, or I can go and pay for it. It's kind of the same thing recently I've been seeing with the whole wrestling events in theaters, which I'm like, cool, but I'm like, I'm gonna just stay at home and watch it. Unless it's an event. So say like if it's John Cena's last match, like back in December, if they had that in theaters, I probably would have went and saw it. Because that's like it's big. But something I'm like The Pit, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go watch Project Hail Mary, I'm gonna watch Ready or Not 2, I'm gonna go watch Mario. Like, I'm not gonna see a show I can go home and watch. Unlike a movie, I'm gonna have to wait a month to go see.
I think if it was like a different story, if this was a TV show that was only going to be in theaters for a week, and then the season finale was going to air like a month or two or now from like TV, then I would go see it. But I want to point out the event is free.
Okay, never mind. No, okay, maybe that's fine. I thought you had to pay for it, but
no, no, go ahead.
No, it's just still a thing of like when is it airing? Like what date?
The event's going to take place on Monday, April 13th, and it says free.
That's a work night.
So it says to honor the dedication and impact of healthcare workers and professionals across the country, the Pit, along with HBO Max and Warner Brothers Television, are partnering with Alamo Drafthouse Cinema to host a nationwide series of free advanced fan screenings for the season 2 finale of the Emmy-winning Max original series. Healthcare professionals, active or retired, are encouraged to reserve their seat with the purchase of a $10 food and beverage voucher, in addition to all
Thank you for
attendees.
your service, but still buy shit to get a ticket, pretty
Well,
much.
in addition, all attendees will receive a special The Pit giveaway. So,
Thank you for it, but let's still buy something to say just shit ain't cheap. That's kind
yeah,
of, but
I
I mean, if it, I'm glad they're honoring healthcare workers. I've always said the healthcare workers are essential. Like, I get especially during COVID, they were truly the MVPs throughout the entire thing. So
mhm.
that's really cool. That's really like awesome for them to, have this. So I don't know. I'm just an angry man on the internet with movies. So TV realm isn't really my thing. But you know what? Congrats to the Pit.
Yeah, congrats to The Pit. I'm going to be watching it, but not in theaters.
At
So,
home like everyone else. But I
yeah,
do
I'll be
have
home because I am not a healthcare worker.
But I do have one more news, and I completely forgot about it. And we
Oh,
did. I
yes.
don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast before. I think we have, but I'm not sure. Kristen, you know how much I love Speed Racer.
Yes.
So
Oh, I know what you're going to talk about.
Yeah, damn
Yes.
right. So Speed Racer, it was just announced that Speed Racer is not only getting a 4K Ultra HD copy digitally and on Blu-ray disc on May 19th, but they are re-releasing 4K the 4K re-release of Speed Racer on April 25th in 225 locations across America. This is in reference to both the anniversary of the movie and recent years, Speed Racer being culturally reappraised as a very underrated, great live action anime adaptation film. I've done a video on this in one of my Flashback Fridays saying that Speed Racer is the best live action adaptation of an anime. It's super fun. It's directed by the Wachowski sisters, who funny they go from green to do all this colorful stuff. Has an awesome video game, great performances. Emily Hirsch is like that's when they're still trying to make him like the top dog, but he was still good at it. He had fun with it. Christina Ricci, my queen, yes, love it.
Mhm.
John Goodman as Pops was awesome. My favorite part is, oh my god, was that ninja more like a non-junt?
Mhm.
Matthew Fox as Racer X. There's a lot of good cast in this movie, and it's just really, really fun. I love Speed Racer. Can't wait to see it. I'm definitely seeing it in theaters. I might actually even go out and get the 4K release. Kristen, have you seen Speed Racer?
Yes, we've talked about it before,
I
and we
figured
have
we did an episode.
actually, I
Yeah,
think we should do a episode in honor of it.
I think we did. Did we?
No, we haven't.
Oh, yeah, I think we should. I'd be down for that. I love Speed Racer. I can go in like in depth of like
I want to hear your praise and love so much for Speed Racer. All I know is how much you love it, but I want to go to the depths with you, Mac, and find out your obsession and your love for this movie. So,
I wish they did a sequel, but actually, you know what? I think I'm fine with it being one movie. I know that in 2018, Emily Hirsch said like, or Emil, is it Emil Hirsch or Emily? I always call him Emily. I wasn't sure if that's right or not. But
I think
they said that there's a sequel like script written, so I don't know like if they would ever do it again. I mean, with the Wachowski sisters, they kind of screwed up with the Matrix, but man, I forgot. Emil Hirsch was like a really big in the 2000s. You remember that? Because
yeah,
he worked a lot with Sean Penn because he did Into the Wild, great movie actually,
yes.
really underrated. Then he did Speed Racer, and he did Milk. And
Hmm.
then I remember, do you remember this sci-fi movie called The Darkest Hour?
Hmm.
I remember I saw him in that. I was like, what are you doing in here? Like, Speed Racer, what are you doing?
Now Emil Hirsch is in like all of this random stuff.
Yeah, he was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, he was.
He was in Lonesome.
I really like him in this one movie. It's called, I believe it's called Motel Life. I really liked it when I saw it.
He was
So,
also in Prey too.
yes.
Not the Prey we know, the other Prey. And then he was in what do you call it? He was in I just saw it. Oh, Dark Lone Survivor. Interesting.
He's
Cool.
been in a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
I know about his there was something else that he went through, like legal trouble. too.
Well, let's not talk about that. But yeah, I'm excited for Speed Racer. I'm definitely gonna see it. I don't see a lot of re-releases in theaters, but I'm genuinely excited to see Speed Racer in theaters
This is
again.
something that I want to have an experience with you and go to the movies to see it because I just want to see your reaction just watching the racing then.
Oh yeah, the racing sequence in this movie is in this movie is really really good. I think that's one of the best parts about it. Like it is awesome. Like I'm not gonna continue to gush about it. I'll save that for a future episode.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
that's all I got. Like we mentioned, if you have any news for us, drop it down in the comments below and make sure we missed anything. But Kristen, let's get into the topic and let's talk about the best of both worlds and talk about the 2009 film Hannah Montana.
Gonna make you move your feet. Pop it, lock it, polka dot it, country fly, then hip hop it. Put your heart in the sky, move side to side. Jump to the left, stick it, glide.
Hannah Montana, the movie, rated G, only in theaters.
All right, Kristen, are you ready to get the best of both worlds? Today, we are talking about the 2009 film, teen musical comedy drama film. It's titled Hannah Montana, the movie, which stars Miley Cyrus, Billy Ray Cyrus, Emily Osment, Moises Arias, Mitchie Musso, I call him Mitchie, but it's Mitchell Musso, Jason Earls, as well as Lucas Till, Vanessa Williams, Margot Martindale, and Melora Hardin. The film tells the story of Miley Stewart, aka Hannah Montana. Her personality as her alternate personality begins to take over her life. Her father, Billy Ray Cyrus, decides to say, "Hey, we're gonna go back to your hometown of Crowley Corners, Tennessee, to get some perspective on what matters most in life." So, little background: Hannah Montana, we mentioned beginning of the show, it's the 20th anniversary. They had a little like reunion podcast that was not well received. Thanks, Chapel Ronan. Thanks, Alex Cooper.
Yeah.
So Kristen said we should talk about the movie, and I thought we were talking about the concert movie because the thing I remember, which funny enough, the concert movie is the third highest grossing concert film behind Justin Bieber one and Taylor Swift one. So that's some history right there.
Yeah.
So this is just basically a like kind of like a this is a high budget Hallmark movie because it's the thing I joke about of like, oh, overworked or someone who's lost their plot. They go back to their hometown, they start learning what's important, what's matter in life, and they come back a whole new person. So obviously this was capital, like at this point when this movie came out, the show was already 3 years in and it was super popular. Hannah Montana herself was like super like popular. Like everyone I knew, even if they didn't want to like admit it, like they were bumping Hannah Montana. Like
yeah. We still bump Hannah Montana to this day.
like it was yeah, me too. It was like inevitable, especially too with like the success of the High School Musical series. This was actually the second theatrical film based on a Disney Channel original series after the Lizzie McGuire movie. So that actually is interesting to me because I forgot Lizzie McGuire had a movie back in 2003. The good old days.
The good old days indeed, Mac. So here's a story. I remember going to see this movie during my spring break of middle school, and this was the hottest movie theater ticket in town. And we're talking about the good old days where you had to show up to the theater and go to the movie to get your ticket, and you had to find out if the screening was sold out or not.
Oh gosh.
And you had to wait. And this movie was so packed. I remember going to the theater. I did get my ticket, and I saw it with the girls, all the middle school girls I was like friends with at the time. And people were actually sneaking into the movie because the theater was just sold out for every single screening, that people were literally sneaking in and sitting on the floor.
Jesus.
That's how much people
they were going hard
wanted to
paint.
see. They were going hard. So I just remember I was like, oh my gosh, Hannah Montana, the fans. So so that was a time. So getting to live that moment and pop culture and seeing it in theaters was just great. It's kind of like how, when Taylor Swift released the Eras Tour movie and just people, going to see that movie and having, the excitement for that. And there was people like dancing in my theater to like, let's get crazy and stuff like that. So that's like the equivalent to the Taylor Swift movie like that came out. years ago, like the excitement for a Hannah Montana movie. Because yes, it's a pop star. So, and all the girlies loved her. So, yeah. So obviously you didn't get to see it in theaters. I said, did you see it in theaters?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I saw this on Disney Channel because I remember when this movie was coming out and they were like pushing this on Disney Channel like all the time. I mentioned in the beginning, like before we recorded, that the one like promo I kept seeing was when she got in a fight with Tyra Banks over a pair of shoes, like that clip
Yeah.
they kept playing, and then the one she's like, "Hello, New York," when she got off the plane, and I was like, Jesus, like they kept playing it over and over again. So like, okay, they're really pushing this movie. I was like, hey, Hannah Montana's in theaters, so I finally watched it when it premiered, because I think it premiered. I want to look when it came on TV. Let me see release. So I don't see when it aired on TV, but
Well, if it came out,
the DVD did come out in August.
well, if it came out in 2009, then it usually has like a 2-year gap till it can air on TV. So it was probably like
Oh,
2011.
yes. Oh, you're right. November 18th, 2011. That's when it came on TV. So I think that was the first time I watched it 2 years later.
Yeah.
So
So that
I
was just
think
like when the series was
about
wrapping
that,
up with in
yeah.
2011. So
I think that was the same time they did the big marathon where they had all the episodes.
yeah.
And it was pretty like good with that. So I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, I didn't see this in theaters. I just knew that like because Hannah Montana was a thing, like a lot of the guys didn't like you weren't going to go see Hannah Montana, like unless you had a
Yeah.
little sister or something like that. But like, I didn't really know a lot of guys. I knew all the girls were loving it. And I watched it on TV and I'm like, you know what? This is fine. It felt like an extended episode of Hannah Montana.
I just find it funny how all the stuff that takes place in the Hannah Montana movie, nothing really in the series was brought up from the movie. The
No.
one of the only things that gets mentioned, and I wrote it down because it was a line that Lily says, and I just thought, yeah, that's about right. And Lily says, it was like the girl who can write the climb can't even climb the rope. So, because it was about Miley Cyrus, like the character of Miley, I think it was like learning to climb the rope. So
Uh,
that was the only time like they mentioned it, and I just thought, okay, that's kind of funny. But none of Travis, poor Travis, Lucas Till, never brought up in the series, and I think that she should have ended up with Travis, not Jesse, not whatchamacallit, Jake Ryan, Travis. That dude was my guy. That was my
which
guy. That
which
was
is
the guy I wanted Miley to end up with.
which is just weird because that's sometimes with the problem with these TV shows they get the movies like this. It's like, what do you make canon and what don't you make canon? And like the fact that they never brought up Travis ever again, like for the rest of the show, was just weird to me.
Or they never brought up Margot Martindale and like none of the characters, like none of the characters, even Rascal Flatts who show up to perform,
That's right.
they don't even nothing.
Like
No,
it's just weird.
nobody's safe in that Hannah Montana movie. You think you're gonna be a part of the series? Ha, you're out of luck.
And it's like
So
it's weird too because the timeline of this in the show, um, which is weird because oh my gosh, I cannot think of it. Like, this is like after Lily and Oliver found out that she was Hannah, right?
mhm,
Okay.
yeah.
I was just making sure because it's like I thought at first they're like, oh, they don't know that she's Hannah yet, which I thought was very like annoying in the earlier Hannah
Mhm.
Montana. Like just tell them who you are and make it easier so you don't have to like run around, but that's movie consistency. So
Yeah, that was in season one. That was very in the very, very beginning. And then there was only like, a few select people who knew that, Miley was Hannah, her family. But the biggest thing is about this movie that drove me crazy when I was a kid after I saw it, because I loved the movie when I was a kid. And yes, it's a guilty pleasure because have rewatched it. It drives me crazy that the town is like, we'll keep your secret, Miley, when she reveals that she's Hannah Montana at the end, at the
yeah,
very end of the concert. And I'm like,
There's a whole town in the Hannah
That,
Montana
I'm
in
like,
the universe that
no,
knows who
no,
she
no, no,
is.
no, no, no.
They
I'm
would have
like,
snitched on her immediately.
no, there's gonna be that one snake in that town. There has to be that one snake or that one girl that Miley did not get along with, or somebody, an arch nemesis of Miley, that was like, I don't care about your dreams. I'm gonna just reveal it. Like you can't like you it drives me crazy. Like I get it, it's Disney magic, but nobody in that town was like, I'm going to reveal this girl's secret right now.
This is
Right
like
now.
this
Like,
is
yes,
like
there was a reporter, but then he sees his daughters. He's like, okay, but no, someone born and raised in that town did not want to reveal Miley's secret.
what's
No.
funnier too is that it reminded me of fucking what is it? Oh, in Spider-Man 2 when Peter's mask came off, like, don't worry, we'll keep your secret safe. Like, no, you're not. You're gonna tell the first person you can about holy shit, this kid, we don't know his name, but he's Spider-Man. Like somebody knew. It's like in Cars when like Doc snitched that Lightning was there in Route
Yeah.
66. Someone's gonna know that Miley was there. And like I know something too of like, well, this wasn't during the social media era. Although it
It
could
was
have been
just coming up. Social media was just becoming like the grind
they should
for
have made a scene where like you mentioned like somebody that she pissed off. Where like I got your secret, and the whole time it's like no, and I would have like okay fine, like to kind of get that
the
back up,
complete like a murderer, like
or
like
they
not to
break
reveal the secret.
or they break her phone or something like that. But I will say, music in this movie slaps. Hold down, throw down. Dude,
Oh my God.
they played that on repeat on
I
Disney Channel.
I can bop to the hoedown throwdown. Mac, I know you came to my wedding, but if I could have, and I would have done the hoedown throwdown at my wedding.
Hold down, throw down. Which is funny because that whole sequence, like Taylor Swift makes a cameo as
Yeah,
herself, which is like
and
crazy
it was
because
funny
this
too.
wasn't like this
Maybe,
wasn't
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
this wasn't like when she became the Taylor Swift we knew. This is like when she was still strictly country. Like she wasn't like a pop star, but she was like getting popular, but she wasn't like the level she would get to yet, which is just weird. Like, oh, it's baby Taylor Swift.
Yeah, it's baby Taylor Swift. It was like right before everything. And I just find it funny the comment that Miley makes when she was doing the reunion and talks about Taylor.
Uh,
Because she makes a comment about Taylor Swift in the 20th anniversary.
what she said.
If you did you watch it? Well, first
I
of
did
all,
not watch it.
no,
No,
you didn't watch it. I thought you didn't.
no.
Doesn't matter. But you weren't missing much anyways, because I
I
was
figured, yeah, that's why I didn't watch it.
okay. So Alex Cooper, talks about, Taylor Swift being part of it. She was asked. And she said okay, she talked about like how the movie like hired Taylor, so they were looking for a girl who would be look like she would be performing in a bar.
Yeah,
So, that was fine at the time because Taylor Swift was an up-and-coming singer, which is fine. But then the biggest thing about the Hannah Montana movie is that the best song, in my opinion, in that movie is You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home, and Taylor Swift was one of the writers of that song.
yeah, she wrote 2 songs in this movie.
Yeah, Crazier and You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home. And You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home, I think really fits with the theme and messaging of that movie, but I don't listen to that one as clearly not as much. But the one song I do listen to a lot, besides Ho Down Throw Down, is because I was like, let me put a list together of all the songs. It's not The Climb, it's Let's Get Crazy. And I know it's in the show, but I love Let's Get Crazy. I think that song is a bop. And so is Let's Do This.
Mm-hmm.
I like those songs. Do you think, Mac, that
If
any
you
of
ask me a
these
song question, you're asking the wrong person.
okay, well,
I was like, because I don't. The only thing I remember is Hold Out, Throw Down. This is like something.
you don't know The Climb?
Not really, no.
Mac, how could you not know The Climb? I could almost
Because you're
see
talking to
it.
someone who didn't watch Hannah Montana like that.
A dream I'm dreaming, but
I was watching Phineas and Ferb.
I mean, okay, so Miley did win, I believe it was an MTV music award for it, or not music award, movie award for it when that was irrelevant at the time.
You are right. It was the Climb. It did win. She also got nominated for Breakthrough. Damn, shaded the MTV Movie Awards. What the hell happened? I was gonna say, what about the
Movie
T? What
Awards,
about
yeah.
the? I was gonna say, what about the Teen Choice Awards? That was when it was like pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it was nominated. I don't
It
remember who won, but I just remember
it
Miley winning for The Climb.
it what? And also, funny enough, this movie also got nominated for a Golden Raspberry too.
Yeah, which I'm gonna just say, yes, 2019, it's like the year, oh, we're gonna just poke at stuff because it's children and it's Miley Cyrus. I'm like, I don't think a movie like that should be nominated for a Razzie
Well, I
when
got
it's targeted towards children. And yes, it's not perfect and it's not bad. It's like
it.
kind of like, huh, why? Like,
It
you
got
need to like recognize other films that are more prestigious. Not saying no shade to the Hannah Montana movie, but we're talking like the levels of like Leonardo DiCaprio and like Robert De Niro, that movies that should be recognized that are like, oh yeah, these movies were not good for them.
well.
Disney's
Remember
great for the
the
Razzie.
the Razzies had controversy because they were nominating like a lot of the like kids. Like
Yeah.
remember Annie, Eileen Quinn for Annie, Gary Coleman, Macaulay Culkin, Jake Lloyd, Jaden Smith, Ryan Kiera Armstrong, Maddie Ziegler. Like it's just weird of like they will not nominate anyone under 18, which I always thought was dumb to nominate kids for worst acting awards. Like that's the thing too, like with Hannah Montana, like the acting's not even that bad.
No, the
It's
acting is
it
not bad. It
uh,
really is. No, it's like what do you expect? It's like the people who nominated it for the Razzies either didn't watch the show and clearly didn't get it. And that's like what I feel about people who reviewed it at the time. It's only meant for a targeted audience, and that is young teens, tweens, and families who watched Hannah Montana. And the legacy of Hannah Montana still lives on to this day. Whether you watch the TV show or even now the 20th reunion or just listen to the music, it's just meant for that. It's for the fans. And yes, yes, it also is a cash grab from Disney because they saw the market and they wanted to ride the success off of it. But
it's just still like weird to me like that. But you know, like you mentioned, this was the golden era of Disney. Kind of like their movie like lineup was crazy because I think it was the success of this movie that led them to release High School Musical 3 in theaters because they
yep,
said, oh, because the Hannah Montana movie went on to make $169.2 million at the box office out of a $13 million budget. So no matter what you said about the
well, High
critics,
School Musical 3 was released before Hannah Montana.
are you sure?
Yeah, it says
Oh,
2008.
a year later. Okay. So let me rephrase that. High School Musical 3 led to the Hannah Montana movie getting in theaters. I keep
Hmm.
thinking the third movie was at least 2010. It's like a weird paradox thing for me. But that movie made $252 million. So they said, okay, let's see if we can do Hannah Montana. And yeah, Hannah Montana succeeded. And like I said, I think you're right. It was meant to like we know the audience for Hannah Montana. And like no matter what, they were gonna go see that in theaters. Like support that no matter what.
Yeah. And I
Um,
did. I saw it when I was a kid and it worked out, for its best. And even if, like I said, it's meant for the fans, it's meant for a select group of people, and that's fine. It's fine. It's a fine movie. To this day, like out of all the movies that come out that are for young audiences, I think a lot of them miss the mark of some of them being like slightly campy.
mhm.
And I just feel Hannah Montana does that. And just being about good values, that's what that movie explores. But yes, I want to say one thing about Miley, and that is she is a little selfish and self-centered because everything this movie involved, no, not selfish, self-absorbed, don't you think?
In real life or the movie?
The movie,
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
character.
I mean that literally is the plot. Like I mentioned with this being a Hallmark movie, it's the thing of like, hey, someone who's like you're like selfish and you're self-centered, you gotta go back to your hometown and really learn the true meaning of life and family. I mean, I think that's the point.
Hmm. Yeah, and that's what some people, I saw somebody call that in the review, so, or something, but I get it. I get it, but you just have to realize that, like what you said, what this is, and it is a glorified TV movie because yes, also the love interest at the center of this is a old school crush Miley had.
Yeah.
Travis Lucas Till, like we mentioned, he's a cowboy, and that's like the kind of traditional trope that we do see in those Hallmark movies. So I want to point that out. But yeah, but no, really, like none of the other characters appear in this movie. Really, like Mitchell Musso and Moises Arias. The
Mhm.
rest of the cast does, like Jackson and Lily and Miley. Of course Miley, but.
But
I
yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
mo-
don't have anything else to say about the movie, but it's heartwarming. That's all I could say.
it's
And it's
nostalgic. It's
Mhm.
a time period of like when we were still, before responsibilities and everything. It was more of like the last, like not gas, the last like proper Disney original series to get a movie.
Mhm.
Because I feel like everything afterwards was just TV specials. We got the zombies movies, the Descendant movies.
The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on Deck movie that was not
Oh,
good.
that should have been in theaters. That would have been a fun theater movie.
God, that movie was atrocious, Mac. Though, if we're talking DComs, oh my God.
Well, I don't blame them because they wanted it to be something different, and Disney kind of fucked them over.
Yeah, I get
But
it.
I mean, Hannah Montana, I still think that the movie is pretty fun. And I'd say if you like the movie, the concert movies are even more fun, which is crazy to think at the time, like that was some like the highest grossing concert movie ever. Like that puts in perspective how popular she was.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I got for Hannah Montana movie.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
Uh,
If
but
you were to grade it, what would you give it?
I'd give it a C plus.
That's what I give it to. And probably my younger self would be like, "Oh, I'd give this a B." But nowadays, I'm like, yeah, my younger self would say, yeah, this is probably like, but a worthy material. But you grow. So yeah, I give this movie like a C plus.
Yeah, but I think that's gonna wrap it up for this episode. We lived the best of both worlds. We mixed it all together
Yeah, we
until
mixed
we
it
get
all together,
together
and
to
you
go
got
to.
the M&K Productions Podcast.
I was actually listening to that today because that theme song is fire.
It is fire.
But Kristen, our next episode, I'm excited because we're finally going to be doing like a redux episode of a little not lost episode, but something was in between transition period when I did an episode myself years ago about book adaptation movies. And we're going to do one. We're going to talk about some that work, some that didn't work, and some that we want to see.
Hmm.
Especially with Project Hail Mary kind of inspired us to do it. So we're excited for that. And I guess we'll be talking about the Mario movie soon, since that's coming out.
Hmm.
And then I think we
Well,
just
as of
got
this recording, it's out.
oh yeah. And then we're gonna be getting our probably doing a Speed Racer episode because by the time the Speed Racer re-releases, I can see why we can do an episode.
I think Dylan might like the movie, so
You
I'll
should take
have.
them to see it if it's available near you.
Yeah, we might have to do a movie night.
Go Speed Racer. But Kristen, you have anything else to add before we say goodbye?
No, but I love doing the show with you, and I hate that our time has come to an end.
Well, this is the end, our beautiful friends. Stay gold. That's a Toonami reference. If you don't know that, look it up. But you can follow us on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and donate to our Patreon. We really appreciate it. Any support helps us out in our journey we call life. Make sure you check out our latest episode 2 we did with Dom as we talked about both Project Hail Mary and Ready or Not. And then listen to this episode again. Like listen to this episode over and over again and until you memorize what we're gonna say. Like you should know this podcast through and through. You should know what I'm about to say next. I've been Mac.
Oh,
This
that's
is the
scary.
I got better for a second.
Imagine that. That's scary. That's AI then talking, Mac.
It's like
That's
you
what
already
it's
know.
gonna be. That's what's gonna be. It's gonna be the AI.
Like you already know what I'm saying. This has been Mac. This has been Kristen. You've been listening to another episode of the M&K Productions Podcast. Bye.
Bye.
Why did I sound so aggressive? Jesus Christ. I was like, bye.